with you. And I want to start off with you because particularly I can say that you are a stakeholder when it comes to Nigerian politics and of course a politician, so to say. Now, let me start off from this report that our correspondent at the capital, Ferdinand Iba, did bring to us, particularly on the boosting of affordable housing for Nigerians. Nigeria, as you would know, has a 20 million housing deficit, and that is a major lacuna when it comes to housing. Thus, the reason why you see some Nigerians living in unbelievable shackles and shanties across the country. But from your perspective, as a politician, what do you think can be done right to mitigate the situation presently? Because this is a major conversation, and that again triples to the pricing of housing, and of course, when it comes to rentage of apartments across the country. What's your take on this as well?
All right, thank you. Concerning this housing deficit that is going on around the country, I think we have told the government stand with that number for them to do what to do and how to go about, providing a good place for the people of Nigerians. And they have paid deaf ears. Is all this why to what we have been telling them concerning that. And the more you try to not look on the side of the citizen and respond to their complaint every time, keep on, we keep giving you this idea and this relevant situation that we find ourselves in Nigeria. And for instance, when you want to demolish several people's houses and you are not planning alternative for them, it gives you worried, and that is what is contributing to all this hardship and insecurity that we are having. At least in Lagos, for instance, I mean, they demolished several places in Lagos. They demolished places in Makoko. They demolished places in the Ijora, in the Weshoki axis, without providing an alternative for people to go and stay, or all this low housing cost, all this low cost housing for people to stay there while they are doing whatever they want to do. But what they after is for them to chase people away from their lands and from their property they have owned for years, and allocated it to some of their friends and some of their allies to stay in Oroshoki, for instance. Now there have been some we have met some construction people and some people that want to build estate there. Why the people that they chased out from there have not been provided a conducive place for them to stay. So when you continue all this attitude of it's only you that you want to just enjoy the dividend of democracy, or you want to just try to rule over people without thinking, without having this empathy for people, that where are they going to say that is not a good governance. And we are telling the government, if they continue in this trajectory, it's going to bring one day, it's going to blast everything. And you can now see the results that's coming up in insecurity, everything all over the country. That is the reason why, when you pay deaf ear to people's cry, this is what we are going to be looking at.
All right, then. Let me bring this conversation to the studio here, Barrister. Again, this is a conversation that the federal government and the National Assembly have reaffirmed their commitment to try as much as possible to tackling. But this is not just a Tinubu's administration thingy. But then let's also talk from the part of this administration as it concerns housing deficit. Over 20 million housing deficit is what Nigeria is presently suffering. But on the part of that mitigation of the 20 million, how much would you say that this administration have done, particularly in mitigating the housing deficit issue in Nigeria today?
They have not even done anything, not to talk of enough. As far as this government is concerned, it's not their priority. They have not seen it as a problem. The population is growing. Meanwhile, there are no social amenities to meet up this population. That is why I keep telling you that APC, they don't have a scale of preference like they do in economics. At least when you have scale of preference, you now know which one is the immediate need of the people. They are not talking about it. They are not. Everything is about them is all about selfish interest. David, for a country with this population, do you need anybody to tell you that in the next 5, 10, 15 years, the population will be at this point? And from this point to this point, what have we provided for them? These are things that a thinking government. That is why people just wake up.
Well, with such projections, again, with such projections, you think the IMF hasn't given the federal government such projections before now? Thus, the reason for the approval of loans that are being granted to Nigerian government, don't you think that has been given to them?
What are the loans for? You see, is there any intentional effort to provide mass houses for the people? Just show me where and when. That's intentional, not for politics. So intentional. Mass housing. As I talk to you today, it is on record that China have provided 64 million housing units, waiting for the next population that will take over it. It's on record. Because they took advantage of the cost. David, there are so many things the government are not doing. When there was yes cheaper cement prices. When I built David, I bought cement at 250. Do you know what that means? Do you know the time? 250 naira.
But presently it's over 10,000 now.
Now look at it. A government that is thinking should have said, with this low cost of cement, let me build mass houses. Definitely, the moment you are built, somebody will definitely occupy it. It cannot lie fallow forever. You are thinking ahead. That is why they are disturbing nature somewhere, building houses where they should not. Disturbing nature. And you think that nature will not fight back. It can never happen. So the issue of mass houses, David, you are on your own. No, you are on your own. Forget it. You are on your own. Government is not thinking about you. The few they built here, mention any poor person that can afford it. David, mention any poor person that can afford the house they built. If you go to places like Ikoyi, Lekki, there are empty houses nobody can occupy because of the price. True or false? Meanwhile, there are people that need these houses. I mean, millions that need these houses. They cannot afford it, and the house is just there. One man will build a house in Lagos, in Abuja, in Port Harcourt, just for his own selfish interest. And these houses are empty from year to year. Well, because he doesn't go there to stay.
On the contrary, Barrister, President Bola Tinubu also has disclosed the plans to deliver over 10,000 housing units across 14 states and the Federal Capital Territory as part of the efforts to, of course, tackling Nigeria's housing deficit. And again, he did say it was going to create 300,000 jobs. But the possibility of that happening is, on one hand, because some have said the distrust between the people and the political elites is very visible. What do you make of this statement by the presidency? Because again, this is part of the renewed Hope Agenda ministry, shifting, of course, policy aspirations.
True talk. Are you sure that was not a political statement? Because at the end of the day, when you ask them, where did the house he promised, they will tell you it's a political statement. Is that not how they will put it? I mean, his supporters, so. Mention one thing they told us that came to pass. Just one like this, one. And the people benefited from it.
Well,
did they not tell you here about the fuel subsidy? They will remove it, and they remove it. Okay, since after removing it, what happened? Are you better off?
The presidency did say that there are quite a number of the renewed hope cities in Abuja, Lagos, and Kano are already progressing. So
Okay.
we're hoping that at the end we would see.
Look at the name of renewed hope cities where the poor will live, abi. Look at can the poor afford these cities?
Now, Barrister, before I go to Mr. Lariwaju, what do you think is the reason why the government is not looking towards policies? And when I say government, I also am talking about the legislatures as well, as policies that would help the economy do better, and the prices of these building materials would go down a little bit more. Now, a rod, the size of a rod, the 8 millimeter rod, price per ton, as I talked to you, is about 720,000 naira.
Okay.
Now, that is not something that an ordinary Nigerian earning 70,000 naira would ever want to buy. What would you say is the reason why the government is not talking towards that direction as well?
Because you have an elitist government. This government is not for the poor or for the average Nigerian. It's elitist. If you are not up there, forget it, David. That is the government of Tinubu. If you are not up there, there is nothing for you like Lagbaja. Seriously. Now you only have the rich, no middle class, no, that is, I mean, just for the poor. I think they are even forgotten because their own poverty started where poverty started. You know what that means? That means you are just there on the ground. It is an elitist government. That's why all their policies, it never benefited the average or the poor in Nigeria. It
All right.
never.
All right then.
It is always them up there, up there, up there. Look at the cost of things. Can poor people afford it?
Let me
tell you.
Let me take this conversation to Mr. Sam as well. Well, Mr. Sam, because of time, but then I'm still staying on this particular conversation. What do you think is the reason why there has not been any major policy and also a way of making an enabling environment where businesses can thrive? Now, I did make mention earlier, cost of building materials in Lagos and of course other parts of the country. A bag of cement is about 10,000 naira. And I'm looking right now at the price of granite, and a 3/4, that's a quarter inch, is about 7,000 to 9,000 naira for one granite. Now, with all of this, it's carefully towing to the line of the rich, having to build for the rich. What's your position with this as well?
Thank you. You see, the Tinubu administrations, I mean, doesn't promise you when you want to come to power that you are going to have them, even the slogan that means to use when you are coming to power, that let the poor breathe. You understand? It's not genuine. They are just deceiving Nigerians. So that shows you that that word, let the poor breathe. They just use it to just deceive Nigerians and bring Nigeria back to where they were and to worsen the situation. So what I used to say to people is that you see you cannot advise somebody that is deaf, that cannot even hear what you're saying. Because that means it's supposed to see the thing on the street of everywhere
All right,
in
then.
Nigeria.
All right, then. Mr. Sam, because of our
If
time,
you want to the decisions.
yeah,
Okay, thank you very much.
because of our time, really, I would want you to, maybe in one sentence, what can the people do in this kind of mix? Because this is something, like you have said earlier, the government is not carefully looking at. But what can the people do in maybe one sentence because of our time?
What is left for the people is for them to revolt and to revolt against this bad governance and shut down everywhere and let the government know that whatever they are doing to them, they are not happy with it,
All right, then.
irrespective of who is there and who is not listening to them.
All right,
And,
then.
and you can see the result that he has produced. When you push pressure on government, they do what they are supposed to do. But that is the reason why they bring out all those for your students.
All
when they
right.
know that the cry of Nigeria is too much.
All right, then. Thank you so very much, Mr. Samuel Lariwaju. Let me bring it back to the studio. Barrister, your parting shot in all of this. We are not encouraging violence. We're not encouraging chaos within the country. But then, what can the people do in this situation?
David, nobody is encouraging violence. But when the government is calling for it, can you help it?
When you say the government is calling for it, what are you saying?
Mention any revolution in the history of mankind that was not brought about by the government in power because of their behavior.
Right.
The people of France told their leader that, look, we don't have bread to eat. Instead of saying, okay, we are going to look at what to do and all that. One naughty woman who told them, if you cannot afford bread, then go and take cake.
All right,
they said,
because of our time.
Is that not the French Revolution you are hearing? Is that not how it started?
Right.
So this one now, we are telling them they don't want to hear. I pray.
Okay, we're hoping that the government listens to the yearnings of Nigerians, but this is